Well, good morning, everybody. Morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see, it's about that time, ain't it? Am I wrong? Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I don't know what y'all are doing. Morning, morning, morning. Anna, JoJo, Tiny. You know the deal. Every morning, the beginning of the show, instead of making you listen to it on my shitty, you know what I mean? And it sound all shitty. Here's a link. Get the video I sent you. Which one? A lot of people send me content. Got to be specific. I know it doesn't feel good. But you got to realize at certain levels, the shit becomes unmanageable. You know what I mean? Sometimes not a lot of people communicate, and sometimes they do. Last night just happened to be a time where I got a lot of messages, so I'm sorry. Are you Anna Smith on TikTok? Order made last night by Biden. I'm sure we're about to figure that out. Morning, morning, morning. And it helps change. Okay. I'll try to find it. Are you talking about strengthening, promoting innovations in the nation's cybersecurity? Anyway, listen to the track. What's up? What's up, everybody? Listen to War. Absolutely nothing. Wow. Gotcha. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. What? Absolutely nothing but a heartbreak. 19634. We'll look it up. I was gonna say. $13,694. April 1st, 2015. 13,694. Yeah. 13,694 cyber sanctions. Morning. Yeah. Good morning. How's everything sound? Have you heard anything about Mar-a-Lago being closed? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Sounds good. Okay. How's everybody feeling? It's Friday. Oh, fuck, I don't know. Like, I was just trying to think about if I'd seen anything else. From what I've come to understand, and again, I'm one of those people, when it comes to Donald Trump specifically, and speaking on Donald Trump, you're going to see me be a lot more even handed. I ain't trying to get my shit banned. Good to go. So I'm just going to say shit like, look, I've met people that live within fucking eyeballs of Mar-a-Lago, okay? And do you know what they fucking told me? In the most like calm way ever. He does that shit all the fucking time. So apparently there's like a 2 mile radius around Mar-a-Lago that has a fucking police checkpoint. He does this shit all the fucking time, and the locals fucking hate his ass. Now, what I also came to understand is that last week when we were kind of talking about Mar-a-Lago and Donald Trump being locked himself in Mar-a-Lago and shit, we came to understand some things. So, first of all, here's some things I've learned that I didn't already know. Did you know Donald Trump does not own Mar-a-Lago? What, like, you just walked in the room, Trump won't let it get banned. Okay, well, Joe Biden refused to rule on it. So he's also not eligible for the job, didn't sign the fucking paperwork, and his vice president said he's going to go to the national championship and might not be able to make the inauguration. And Bad Built Butch Body said she didn't know if she's going to be at the inauguration. The living presidents are iffy on whether they're going to fucking be there. So when you come on my podcast in my comments and you say shit like Donald Trump won't let TikTok get banned, it's like, okay, he's not in power. What are we talking about? You're living in a fantasy. Stop it. Clock back in. He's not a president. He's not the president. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. Especially within the last 12 hours, Joe Biden's refusing to ban TikTok, despite whatever the ruling was. He's not enforcing that. So you don't stop making the videos. You could tell everybody. Stop making your stupid fucking goodbye videos. And understand this. He didn't kick it down the road 270 days either. And potentially let Donald Trump fucking rule on it. No. He just refused to enforce it, giving a day one president an option. Trump's the one that introduced for TikTok to be banned for national security reasons. Straight out of the TikTok shop, Kathy. And Mark Zuckerberg is the primary financier of the movement to get TikTok banned because, again, as my first video I made this morning was that Mark Zuckerberg is a giant pussy. And I say it to his fucking face. I'm a foot taller than him. So it's like he got a perm and he got a chain and he's not tough. I'm just saying. Okay? The butter in the grocery store is tougher than him. Good to go? Mark Zuckerberg paid $7 million to Congress to get TikTok banned. Elon's behind the ban also, right? These motherfuckers, they can't compete. You can't compete with free speech. That's a fucking good line. You can't compete with free speech. If your platform is trying to compete with free speech, you're going to lose. And for the record, I think TikTok's a shithole, but you know what? Twitter and fucking Meta Tools ain't it. I ain't using that shit. Good to go? The rebellion's on. See, we could be in rebellion. It doesn't matter who's in fucking power. Okay? Yeah, that's a fucking mistake. Yeah, everyone frantically learning Mandarin right now and having a blast on RedNote. You know what I learned? You know what I learned about the U.S. education system? There was a sharp, during COVID, there's been a sharp uptick in the number of high school graduates that have 2 or more years of Mandarin. So, do you understand how fucking stupid Donald Trump and Elon Musk are? You didn't know that in the U.S. public education system, there has been a sharp increase in the percentage of high school graduates with 2 or more years of Mandarin. They were talking about that 20 fucking years ago when I was in high school. Do you know how dumb you have to be? First of all, to not know that RedNote, right? To not know that RedNote exists and to be in this space, right? The like video shit space, whatever. Okay? So, back to what I was talking about. Okay? Things I've learned recently. Donald Trump does not own Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago is a historical site. Okay? And he lives in a house on Mar-a-Lago. And for the record, Elon Musk stays at a little cottage next to where Donald Trump lives. Now, from what I understand, Donald Trump effectively lives in the back of Mar-a-Lago. And not by choice or design, that's just where the house is. Okay? What I've come to find out is near where actually Elon Musk stays, which is one of the reasons I haven't jumped ship, is because I was like, they're not banning TikTok. It is a violation of free speech. And everyone here's like, SCOTUS is going to rule against and they're going to ban TikTok for national security reasons. Like, the president would not, no president is going to enforce that. It's a violation of free speech. He would be violating our free speech by signing that. A president that actually knows the fucking laws and isn't corrupt like our SCOTUS is. Yeah, he don't own nothing. Everything's leveraged to the max. Well, the thing about it is he never owned Mar-a-Lago. That is a fucking historical site. Okay? He lives in a historical building. It's not his. His house, not his house. That little cottage that fucking Elon stays in, also not his house. He don't own that either. Okay? No shit. He lives in a hotel. That's fucking insane. Home Alone permanent. Permanent edition. That's crazy that Elon wouldn't just stay in the hotel. Anyway, so Donald Trump doesn't own Mar-a-Lago. He lives in a fucking hotel. And he does this shit all the time where he shuts down local thoroughfares for fear of national security or his personal fucking safety. Okay? So understand him locking himself down in Mar-a-Lago, not an uncommon thing. That shit happens all the fucking time. So, in addition to he doesn't own Mar-a-Lago, he does this shit all the time. There was an event the day he locked it down last week, and here's what I've come to understand. Imagine you're looking down a straight road going away from Mar-a-Lago. That's a one-lane road due to construction going into Mar-a-Lago. It's gonna be choppy traffic, okay? And then turn around from that, and there's like a farmer's market right here. And there was an incident at the farmer's market, and it caused him to lock it down. I think that I have even-handedly discussed what happened at Mar-a-Lago in the last week sufficiently. Does everyone agree? Does anybody feel like I've left anything out? I feel like I nailed that. That was perfect, Jared. He doesn't fucking own it. He does this shit all the time. And there was a traffic issue because of road repair. And then also there was an incident at a farmer's market right outside Mar-a-Lago. Those are all news stories. So I'm just telling you, these are the things that happened. And I feel like that's the whole fucking thing. Like he could be like paranoid. Jesus Christ. Get that shit off my page. Fuck is wrong with you people? Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Every day, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Fuck out of here. Okay? So forget people feeling getting chopped up today. I understand I just cold block. It's just a cold block. Like, okay? Yeah, it's a cold block. Fuck Donald Trump. Like, don't come at me with that shit. Okay? So now y'all understand. It's not illegal to run for office. Think about Hunter Biden. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Stop. Hold on. Let's talk about it. Somebody asked, why did they even let Donald Trump run again? Okay? So let's talk about it. Yes, I can. Donald Trump doesn't own Mar-a-Lago. He does this shit all the time because he's fucking paranoid. There's a construction issue right outside Mar-a-Lago, and there was a kerfuffle at a local farmer's market that caused the lockdown. He does that shit all the time. So for us to spend a lot of time on that when we know, hey, he don't actually own property on Mar-a-Lago. That's not his fucking island. Fucking he does that shit all the time. There's a construction issue. No, son, you ain't never seen Triggered. Fuck all of you. Jesus. He don't own it. He does this shit all the time. There's a construction going on the roads near Mar-a-Lago, and there was a fucking kerfluffle at a local farmer's market. So like, yeah, he's paranoid and shit, but like, he does that shit all the fucking time. Why do they let him stay there? Fuck if I know, bro. Because otherwise you wouldn't even know what that shit is. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Ed. Ed, you look like something I'd step on. Fuck out of here. It's a historical site. Okay. Thanks, man. So, somebody asked why they even let him run again. Okay? So I want to make sure you know that Hunter Biden is a great reason why you can point to Hunter Biden and say, this is why you can run and be, you know what I mean? And be a felon. Because it took Joe Biden had to be president and had to pardon his own son, who by the way is a successful attorney himself. So think about you being targeted, Hunter Biden being targeted unfairly and getting a fucking federal gun charge for filling out a form wrong on a pew pew sheet. Straight out of the TikTok shop. Okay? Okay? So think about, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, the only reason he doesn't have a federal gun charge is because Joe Biden was his dad. And his dad had to pardon him. Okay? So when you ask, why did they let Donald Trump run even though he's a fucking felon? For the same reason that if Joe Biden wasn't president and didn't pardon Hunter Biden could still run. Do you understand now that you can run even if you've got a felony? Because people are going to use political power to target people unfairly. It has happened. Okay? So it's not, you can be a felon and run for office. Okay? You can win your party's nomination to be president. Okay? You can win your party's nom. You can even win an election. There's not a rule against it. You can even be certified. They could even certify the election because they have to. Those are the rules. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Look at this shit. Okay? So it's not the Democrats' job. It's not a current administration's job. It's not anyone's job to tell Republicans, hey, he can't ever be president. He's ineligible for the job. And you know what the Republicans said? We got to do what our party wants to do, and who has the money in our party, and all of the money power was concentrated around Donald Trump. So not only can you be a felon, right? Yeah, it gives you context that I'm not a robot when I'm acknowledging chat. Chill, y'all. So you can run and be a felon. You can win your party's nomination. They can put all their power behind you. You have no clue what you're talking about, and so you just get banned. If you say something that is objectively untrue at this juncture, you get banned. Your and I's relationship is over. Do you understand? Okay? That's not relevant and that's not law. Do you understand? So you just get banned for saying stupid shit in my chat. Okay? Just straight up banned. Okay? So you can be a felon and run for office. You can win, you can be certified, but the 14th Amendment Article 3, which Jack Smith's final report says Donald Trump is ineligible for office per the 14th Amendment Article 3. He incited and participated in an insurrection. What happened on January 6, 2021 was indeed an insurrection. The highest attorney in the land said so. You can debate that, but you're just going to get blocked because you're wrong. Jack Smith's report said Donald Trump is ineligible for office per the 14th Amendment Article 3. Okay? And he also dropped his charges because Donald Trump got elected. So while you're running on that wheel, trying to figure that out, wait, that doesn't make any fucking sense. He's not eligible for the job, but I'm dropping my case against him because he won an election? You got to be fucking shitting me. And you think nothing's going to happen? You think they're just going to let him take the fucking job? Let me explain this to you. I thought all this time that Jack Smith, and maybe this is something I haven't told 200, 300 fucking people. So make sure you listen, clock in, okay? Clock in. This whole time I thought Donald Trump was just ineligible because of the insurrection part. I want you to let that marinate. This whole time I was like, Jack Smith's report is going to come out and say Donald Trump is ineligible because he participated in an insurrection, incited an insurrection. He's ineligible. Okay? That's not what Jack Smith said. Hey, wake up. That ain't what Jack Smith said. Jack Smith said Donald Trump's ineligible for inciting and participating in an insurrection and also for giving aid and comfort to the enemies thereof. And I want to make this very simple for everyone involved. Okay? Go read Article 3, Section 3, Clause 1. This is called the Treason Clause. And on the second sentence of the Treason Clause, it says, or given aid or comfort to the enemy thereof. And that means, class, Jack Smith dropped his cases against Donald Trump, dismissed without prejudice his cases against Donald Trump because he discovered that Donald Trump committed, class, this is a Learn Live, sometimes you're going to get treated like a student. He committed, come on, treason. Yay! There you go. So not only are you ineligible for the job, but you committed treason. And there's like 130 elected officials in the United States that are being evaluated for that charge. I'm just letting you all know. Because if you think for 5 seconds that if Jack Smith's report says Donald Trump's ineligible per the 14th Amendment, Article 3, not only for the insurrection, he also gave aid or comfort to the enemy thereof. It's in Jack Smith's report. We read it. And if you go read Article 3, Section 3, Clause 1, see, the difference between me and the people that voted for him is that I'm not in a fantasy. I'm not in a fantasy. I'm heavily grounded in reality. I waited for Jack Smith's report to come out. I waited. I was patient. Ask the Matriarchy. I said, yeah, I don't really know what's going to, I think he just participated in insurrection. And I've been saying it in my content the whole time. Hey, Jack Smith said he gave aid or comfort to the enemy thereof. That should be, what? That's also in the Treason Clause. And there's a whole bunch of elected officials that just won elections that are fucking also possibly gave aid or comfort to the enemy thereof. Think about, here, I'll give you the mental image. Are you ready? I'll give you the mental image. I'm giving it to you. You can have it. Marjorie Taylor Greene walked into a jail cell and knelt and kissed the hands of a January 6th inmate. Did she not? Did Marjorie Taylor Greene not walk into a jail cell and get on her knees and kiss his hands? That's what giving aid or comfort to the enemy thereof looks like. So if you think it's just Donald Trump, and understand this, everybody's talking about J.D. Vance. He's not eligible for office. Okay? You want to talk about J.D. Vance and why J.D. Vance has been quiet. J.D. Vance was bankrolled by Peter Thiel and helped write Project 2025 well before the insurrection on January 6, 2021. So if you wonder why has J.D. Vance been so fucking quiet? because J.D. Vance was one of the architects of Project 2025, and he was bankrolled by Peter Thiel. That would absolutely be aiding and abetting. And remember, before the election, J.D. Vance whipped around on a reporter and said, "You have no idea what's about to happen." And the truth of that could not hit J.D. Vance in the ass harder. Did you hear what I just said? Somebody said J.D. Vance had surgery. People were talking about him having sinus surgery. Nah, fam. My wife had sinus surgery. You get bruising here. He had bruises on the outside of his eyes and marks on his cheeks. He got fisticuffs. He got roughed up going into that certification, and they told him straight from the TikTok shop, "You're gonna sit there and you're gonna watch the certification, and you ain't gonna say nothing." That's exactly what happened. Okay. So, because of Donald Trump, the rules of elections changed. Okay? Actually, because of Donald Trump, because of Executive Order 13848, now election crimes are triable by the DOJ. Now, if you speak out during an election before or after it's certified, there are penalties for that. There's monetary penalties for running to a microphone and saying the Republicans and MAGA cheated. Donald Trump cheated in this election and committed election fraud and interference with the aid of Russia. There are penalties for that. Why? Because you're obstructing an investigation. Ding dong. So every one of you in my comment sections, "Why aren't they saying anything? They're just gonna hand the keys of democracy to a fascist. We're all gonna die." Instead of that stupid shit, maybe read the fucking rules of the game. They changed. They changed the rules of the game because of Donald Trump. Hello? They changed the rules of the game because Donald Trump. They changed the rules. The rules changed. The rules changed. If you speak out about an election now, it's heavy financial penalty. So you are disincentivized from saying anything. Now hey, if they're posting lies in the chat, you just block them. I don't have the time for this. Okay? So because of Donald Trump, you can't speak out about election results until it's after it's certified, and then you have no incentive to speak out because the Department of Justice, and it's not just one department, it's not just one person, it's all relevant agencies. It's FBI, CIA, NSA, CISA, DSIC. It's all the big agencies for intelligence in the United States. The Office of the Department of National Intelligence, okay? You have no clue what you're talking about. Stop the insanity. Blocked instantly. Spreading misinformation in my chat. You have no clue what you're talking about. Hey, mods, I'm telling you. 500 people in here. I know it's a big ask. If you say misinformation in my chat, it's a cold block. I don't care what your opinion is. If you aren't listening to what I'm saying and saying you make sense, I'm with you, and you say something along the lines of, "Oh, regardless of what you say, he's going to be elected," I don't even want to know you. I don't want to know someone that can hear what I'm saying and it doesn't. Yeah, that makes sense. And you're going to expect that the fucking Justice Department knows. The Justice Department knows if they let him get in office, he's going to fuck things up. So if the Justice Department knows that Donald Trump's going to target their jobs, didn't you all hear he's going to do purity tests where he's going to sit down with every federal government contracted employee and say, "Did you vote for me? Oh, you didn't vote for me? You're fired." And so if 344,000 federal government employees' jobs are on the fucking line, and all these relevant agencies have to do all for every election, not just the presidential election, every election that occurred on November 5th. And on December 20th, they had to deliver their reports. Remember when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris went back to the White House and skipped out on going home for the holidays, and then Joe Biden signed like 50 bills on Christmas Eve? Yeah. There's a reason I made a 19-minute video this morning trying to de-escalate and say, like, that's what our adversaries want. Our adversaries want American on American violence, straight out of the TikTok shop. Okay? That's Russia, Iran, North Korea. They want to see American on American violence. Okay? I already made content about that. If you're in my live and you're talking about on fucking TikTok, I already did that. So understand that politicians, the Democrats, the current administration, they're imploring the Department of Justice, please do your jobs. Please do your jobs. Please save us. It's their job to do that now. It has not happened prior. They have not uncovered the office of the Department of National Intelligence had not whoever that is. Joe Biden said he's not enforcing a ban. So y'all can stop making your content about fucking TikTok getting banned. It's not fucking happening. Why would Joe Biden make an amendment to a bill to include cybersecurity and election interference? So that the DOJ had the ability to connect cybersecurity and election interference and charge you? Elon fucking Musk. Hey, I read them bills and was like, oh, that's anti-Elon Musk 1. That's anti-Elon Musk 2. There's at least 2 bills that are like fuck Elon Musk in the face.com. He didn't. He doesn't have the money for that. So you're just whoever the fuck you are, you're just passing misinformation. Oh, I want to point this out. So Kamala Harris is like the most experienced politician in the United States. She's worked at all 3 levels of government. She's doing a desk signing yesterday, and then as Dougie wants to take pictures of his wife and they're trying to clear out the area in front of the fucking desk, she says, "We're going to continue to work through the weekend and we'll let you know on Monday." Big smile. Come on, dog. The most experienced politician in the United States, worked at all 3 levels of government. At her fucking desk signing 4 days out. She doesn't get a Supreme Court justice seat. She doesn't become an ICC attorney, right? None of that shit has been announced. Kamala's next job hasn't fucking happened. You know why, baby girl? She's doing the thing. She's doing the thing. She's the most experienced prosecutor to ever be the vice president and have to certify an election. She knows all the shit she's told us. She knows all of the shit we've been saying this whole time. She knows. You think she isn't read? You think? Hey, let me just. I'm gonna spill the beans. Are you ready to spill the beans? You think no one in positions of power has seen my content? Hell no, we ain't making sexist comments. I know that shit, Joey. The fuck out of my live. Hey, I got an all-female mod team. You know what you're not gonna do in my live? You are not gonna be a sexist piece of shit in my comment section, is what the fuck you are not gonna goddamn do. Ever in my presence. If you ever catch you being racist or sexist, that's the end of our relationship. Right the fuck there. If you ever wondered how this relationship ends, let me fucking catch you being racist or sexist. Let me see it. Let me see it. Show it to me. So I can just fucking get rid of you. I got no space for you on my live or in my life. We will never have a relationship. Let me see it. Show it to us. Show us who you really are. So, yeah. Another thing that I learned, okay, recently, Joe Biden gave his farewell speech from the Oval Office, and he had a speech before that. And so I want to talk about the speech at the Oval Office and the speech before that. Joe Biden, and you could even talk about the speech at the Armed Forces Services Committee. What would you call that? A ceremony where the band played for him and shit, and it was really fucking sad. It was like all blue. You remember that? There's 3 speeches in a row where he did not say Donald Trump. Did not say the incoming Trump administration, Donald Trump's administration. Hey, snap in. Guess when the last time an outgoing president gave a speech from the Oval Office and did not mention the president-elect's name? Guess how many times it's happened? For all of you doing backflips in the comment section, never. We had to go all the way back until they weren't even fucking televised. But we were like, no one has ever given a speech from the Oval Office and not literally said the next guy's name. Goodbye, Andre. And people are like, what's going on, man? Like, fuck you mean what's going on? Donald Trump committed treason. So did Elon Musk. Shit is about to pop off. Son, no need to get the glizzy ready. The DOJ's got plenty of those. And the funny thing about all this shit is, everybody's like, why isn't Joe Biden using immunity? And it's like, hey man, Joe Biden's literally signing the fuck Elon Musk bills uno and deux. Like, fuck you mean he's not using immunity? He signed 50 fucking bills on Christmas. He literally federally protected 625 million motherfucking acres in one stroke of a pen, and people are like, he didn't do shit. The fuck? Like, y'all understand, Joe Biden's like probably the best president ever. Probably the best president ever. The most effective administration in history. In history. Like, there isn't someone that did more. So like you could be a motherfucking hater. Like, you just be a straight up, I don't like Joe Biden. I don't give a fuck about your personal feelings about Joe Biden. Joe Biden's like fucking incredible at the job. Like, hey, and you know what's crazy? He said some shit early on and you were like, I don't know about this guy. And he fucking about faced on that shit. He changed. He really like evolved in office. Ended up actually being like really fucking good. Yeah, he was really good at his fucking job. And Kamala Harris, holy shit. First of all, black don't crack. That's a pretty woman. For like 62, 63. She could have told me she was 45 and I'd be like, yeah, she's a youngin'. She's got a little wear and tear. That's it. But she's 60. And that's a dame right there. Okay? So to say that first, like she's just a beautiful 60-year-old fucking woman. Okay? Also the most experienced politician in the United States. She worked at all three levels of government. And she also was a prosecutor in San Francisco and prosecuted people for committing securities fraud. And I just want to point out that a couple weeks after the election, guess who got threatened with getting charged with securities fraud? Elon Musk did. So a couple weeks after the election, the SEC came out. Remember the threat? Pay $20 million fines twice, or SEC charges for, yeah. Mm-hmm. So again, she's only one who's prosecuted transnational criminal organizations. So who do you think she is advising? Who do you think the vice president of the United States, the most experienced politician with prosecutorial experience versus transnational organized crime? She's advising the fucking DOJ, the ICJ, the people y'all don't even know about yet, the International Court of Justice at The Hague. Their president just resigned. I imagine Jack Smith goes home to the Netherlands and gets a fucking phone call on his first day. As soon as he kicks his feet up, ding, 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 ding. Hey, Jack. Want to come be the president of the International Court of Justice? And it's fucking Kamala Harris getting to make the phone call. Let's get this little party fucking started. You don't get confirmed before you're in power. So they did these confirmations just to show you how fucking stupid Hegseth is and fucking all them other people are. You don't confirm anyone until after you're in power. It's political theater. You're welcome. Same thing as the certification that you never gave a fuck about in your entire goddamn life. That was done in 37 minutes with no objections. Theater. That was political theater. You watched the ceremony. Congratulations. The election was not actually certified that day. It was a show. Congratulations. Welcome to the show. Big went out the gate. That's a good fucking opinion. Keep saying that shit. We'll be best friends. He's dead ass. He's not wrong. Biden set Kamala up to be the one that saves TikTok. See, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, but I already made that video today. Where I said, see, if Donald Trump was going to be president, Joe Biden puts the 270 days through and kicks the can down the road and gives people 6 months to lobby to save TikTok. Okay? If Donald Trump was going to be president, Joe Biden just kicks the can 6 months down the road and gives those creators that time frame. If he thought Donald Trump was going to be president. But because he's fucking not, he can just say, I'm not enforcing that law, and it lets the new president, Kamala Harris, madam, yeah, the concerning statements in his farewell speech are to wake people up to how bad things would be. Remember, he didn't say an oligarchy is formed. He said an oligarchy is forming. So if he just refuses to enforce the law, yeah, Yeah, a lot of people don't catch the stuff that I catch. My mods are all women and they call themselves the Modriarchy. And I asked them what is it like working with me, and they said it's like having a human version of Chat GTP. So you can pay for that if you'd like. If you'd like to give me a little tip for getting your mind out of the gutter, I know you've just been having horrible thoughts and thinking it's like the end of democracy and shit, but it doesn't have to be that way. Doesn't have to be that way. Okay? Okay. So what you can do, cuz I know you're like, God, it just has done more for me than any politician's doing for you right now. You can send some of that love that you have my way via PayPal or Venmo. My chat even has my Zelle, my phone number. Okay. Okay, so you could bless me, okay, as we keep going here. Say thank you with your wallet. Okay. And then everybody's kind of like, what's your mood and shit? And I would like to use song. What's my theme for the next few days? Drake and Alicia Keys put out this song a while back. It's called Fireworks. So if you ever wondered what the mood's like when I don't even care about that shit. Oh, by the way, there is a midnight select Senate intelligence meeting 12 hours before the election. I put the link in the chat. You can click the link in the chat. In here you have to copy paste it, go somewhere else. The song is called Fireworks by Drake. He's not eligible for the job. Inauguration. Before 12 noon Monday. The Matriarchy is strong here. Yes, they are. I mean, you got like 450 people in here, and it's not before, but won't miss them again. All the driving down to realize what it means. All I see is fireworks. All I see is fireworks. All midnight is fireworks. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. All I see is fireworks. Like fireworks. That's what I think. Mm-hmm. I am just a gentleman. You should give it up to me. Come on. When did Alicia Keys? I could fucking rip, son. You may be confused. You might be in the wrong chat if you think I cannot fucking sing. Well, that's a good thing. I don't want you to hear copyrighted material. And I know the words to like every song. What's my platform? I'm a socialist. Somebody just asked, what's my platform? Now we're going to write it down. Now we're going to write it down. Everybody get out a pen. Let's figure it out together. Okay? Okay? Christine Nome just started flapping her fucking gums. Okay? Somebody asked what my platform is. Okay? So, first of all, socialist. Okay? Let's define socialism. The 4 pillars of socialism are chat, universal health care. What else? universal education, universal income, universal housing. Now, what are those things? Okay. Somebody asked what my... Hold on. Stop asking me questions, chat. Hold on. When the workers see this as means of production. Or destroy them. So, the 4 pillars of socialism. The first, United Healthcare. That's funny. What a slip of the tongue. Universal healthcare. Okay? So, just so you all know, right now, unless you're a veteran, or you have Medicare and Medicaid, or you are just straight up fucking uninsured. Okay? Most of you pay every paycheck you pay for healthcare, right? The average person pays like $300 to $600 a person a month for healthcare. Tell me when I'm wrong. Okay? And then when you use your healthcare, it costs money, right? Those are called copays, right? So you pay for it when you use it, and then there's an amount that if you pay enough, you don't pay any more as long as it's covered. Okay? And that is called a deductible. Okay? Well, I just want you to know, I want you to get really mad when I say it too. 33 of 34 countries in the United States, of developed countries in the United States, have universal health care. And guess what? Those same companies that charge you money every paycheck and charge you money to use it and charge you up to a certain amount called a deductible, guess what? Those same companies exist in those 33 of 34 countries, and they don't charge that money. So Americans are lining the pockets of healthcare companies at your own expense. Your health quality of your healthcare is where it is because corporations and doctors are not in agreement. Universal health care, not dying with a bunch of medical debt, is a basic human right in 33 of 34 developed countries. There's a reason I got out of Medicare and Medicaid, okay? I love when people comment, people are finally waking up to socialism, and it's like, I've been doing this for months. The fuck are you on? Okay? And immediately delete anyone decrying social health care that has zero experience in the situation. I receive social health care. So if you're going to make a comment about the quality of social health care and you have not experienced it directly, I don't want to know you. Doctors in the United States treat by what the insurance companies stipulate. And so until that fucking changes, you have shitty healthcare because of healthcare companies and their relationship with doctors. I worked in the Medicare, Medicaid industry for 4 years. You did not, and you've never experienced social health care. Okay, so the same countries that are charging you $100 a month, charging you to use your health care, charging you up to a deductible, not covering things, they're in 33 of 34 developed countries providing zero-cost health care. I am a disabled Marine Corps infantry veteran. You're welcome for my fucking service. I get VA healthcare for free. The only downside is that it's on the other side of the city, so it's about a half hour away. So if I have a heart issue, I'm a dead man. Muerte. From the TikTok shop. Straight out of the TikTok shop. The second pillar of socialism is universal education. Okay? I'm fortunate in that I have 2 degrees. One I'm getting in the next year and one I already have. And I will end up with less than $60,000 in total student loans. That's because I served and I worked my way through college. Many people do not have the ability to work full time and pay for student loans and go to school and maintain a social life. Okay? Who's having $10,000 ambulance rides? The United States doesn't even have that. See, this is where people they agitate me with their ignorance. You've never received social health care. You're literally spitting right-wing talking points. You're not saying anything factual. Right, and that's not social health care. Social health care is zero-cost health care. Up to and including the fucking ambulance ride. The same companies operating in the United States, charging you $100 a month for healthcare, charging you copays to use it, charging you up to a deductible to use it. They offer zero-cost social health care in 33 of 34 developed countries. I don't listen to ChatGTP. I'm on the fence of blocking people who use ChatGTP. If you can't just read it yourself and ascertain yourself from the information you read an opinion, and you have to use a computer to do it, I don't want to know you. Sorry, that's lazy. Okay? So, in addition to universal health care, there's universal education. I don't care. If you disagree, you're blocked. You have no. I have no reason to be in a relate. That's ableist. What's ableist? If you disagree with the 4 pillars of socialism, I don't want to know you. That's my choice on my life, and I don't care why you disagree. There isn't a good reason. And for too long, we've allowed everyone to have an opinion, and everyone can be a part of the discussion, and everyone cannot. Not everyone can be a part of the discussion. Some people just move the fuck along. You should use a more ethical tool than ChatGTP. Anything that OpenAI wrote, I wouldn't be using. So again, the people that immediately want to play victim and immediately want to isolate themselves and say he was targeting me when he said I don't want to be friends with people that constantly rely on ChatGTP to explain everything to them, use a different tool. It's not on the Democrats. It's not on the Democrats to have a spine. It's not the Democrats' job to challenge the result of the election. It's not the Democrats' job to challenge the results of the election. It's not the Democrats' job to challenge the results of an election. It's not the Democrats' job to challenge the results of the election. You being mad at the Democrats is what Russia wants. You being mad at other Americans, that's what Russia wants. You not wanting socialism, that's what Russia wants. Why wouldn't you want people to not have to pay student loans? Why wouldn't you want people to have to die with a bunch of healthcare bills you can't pay for? Why do you like the rental or the mortgage situation that you're in? Why do you like that? Why do you like the boot on your face? I don't want to pay my mortgage. I don't want you to pay rent. What if we just had that money and we could hang out and spend our money hanging out and shit? Why do we have to pay rent? Why do I have to pay to exist? And universal income solves that quandary. Why do I have to pay to exist? You got to keep the lights on, got to keep the plumbing on, got to keep you got to have internet, you got to have cable, you got to stay informed, right? So the 4th pillar of socialism is universal income. And for the record, they've already done this shit in the United States. In Denver, Colorado in 2022, for 2 years, for all of 21, all of 22, for 2 years, they gave 500 families $500 each every Friday for 2 years. And do you know what happened? Do you know what happened? 42% of households either got married, had a child, bought a house, produced a degree. So literally, you sit around and wonder what's going to fix the birth crisis. What's going to fix the declining birth rate? Motherfucking money. What the fuck do you mean? Why aren't people getting degrees? Why aren't people getting married and buying houses and having children? Because they can't afford it. Socialism will cost about $2,000 each on your taxes annually, but it will save each American on average about $8,000. So think about, and that just means you're most likely just giving away your return, right? You know, I know how it is. You file taxes, you get a couple grand back, right? Well, what if you just gave that up and saved like $8,000 over the course of the year on average? That's a good fucking deal, right? That's socialism. So as far as paying for socialism, they've already mapped it out. They already know what it costs. About $2,000 per person at the end of the year on your taxes. And over the course of the year, you're going to save $8 grand. You're going to have $8 more $1,000 in your pocket. And it is what? Going to cost you a return? We would all live rather than survive. Okay? Not only would we survive, we would live. And so people ask me, how do you feel the way you feel in the society you live in? Because if you recognize that it's about money, and that's your primary issue, understand that in the United States right now, there's a party fighting billionaire oligarchical control of the government. There's a party that's doing that, but they're not socialists. Democrats don't believe in the 4 pillars of socialism. Okay? Thank you, Marie. I'd rather have $8,000 in my pocket than return $2,000. Exactly. Remember this. When you pay your taxes in the United States and you get a return, they give you money back. That's an overpayment. You overpay on your taxes to feel like you're getting money back from the government. You have to overpay to get that. So you aren't giving up a return. You're giving up the false world that you've lived in your whole life where you're like, I can't wait to get a big return. That just means that's your money. You overpaid, they're reimbursing you. No. One thing we're not going to do, one thing we're never allowed to do in my chat is both sides anything. We're not both sidesing anything. That is an unacceptable argument given the current political climate in the United States. Can we agree? There's several hundred people here. I think that's pretty level-headed, Jared. We are beyond both sidesing shit. If you have thoughts in your brain that are like, they're equally terrible, you're like, fuck you. One party thinks women should not have rights to vote. One party thinks slavery should go to the states. You know who also felt like slavery was a state argument? Confederates. The fucking traitors. That's right. They thought that slavery should just be a state thing. That's now what Republicans think. That's MAGA. MAGA wants to get rid of the 14th Amendment under the guise of denaturalizing people. For the record, denaturalization means if you weren't you weren't a resident by birth, they can take away your citizenship. So when you both sides, the Democrats and Republicans, and I say, well, the Republicans are trying to actively discourage people from voting. They gerrymandered. They committed a coup in Minnesota. They tried to bar a Supreme Court judge in North Carolina from taking their job. They purge votes. But again, I want to say Donald Trump doesn't actually want to get rid of the 14th Amendment so he can denaturalize people. He wanted to get rid of it because he's ineligible for office per the 14th Amendment, Article 3. And you know who corroborated that? Jack Smith. With his final report, he said that Donald Trump is not eligible for office. No, not the Insurrection Act. The 14th Amendment, Article 3. Section 2383 is the Insurrection Act. Okay? Yeah. We know handing the keys of democracy over to a fascist. Remember your oath. Yeah, he's talking about Monday and moving forward. Mm-hmm. And understand that I've been saying Article 4, Article 5, wartime powers. Mm-hmm. Harris County, Texas was manipulated. Oh yeah. There's no hope and pray. We don't have a choice. Federal government employees are duty bound. They don't get to choose. Everything will come out in the wash. Everything's going to be okay. The hoping and praying shit don't work. Thoughts and prayers don't do shit. You got to live in reality. I want to be a Democrat socialist country. We are. We have a lot of socialist policies in place. Socialist policies win elections. So they're socialist policies are popular. We need a party that goes full socialist. I want universal health care, education, income, and housing. That's my platform. Because everybody else is willing to cave on their demands. Bernie was not socialist enough. I don't know who you're talking to, Fanta, but that can be taken either way. You might want to watch what you say in my live. Who the fuck are you telling to get educated? I don't need to calm down. Like, that's what I can't fucking stand about people. White people, you gotta ruin fucking everything. You go into other people's fucking shit and tell them to calm down. Fucking Stacy, goddamn white person. Go figure. White people ruin fucking everything. Y'all just bitch and complain constantly. And you're the only ones doing it. You're the only ones that ever got some fucking feedback from me is white people. Fuck off me. He's self-righteous as she ruins my name. Rage, righteous fury, appropriate at times. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I grew up on Tupac and Rage Against the Machine. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? I'm a millennial. You think I was gonna sit through fucking Columbine and fucking 9/11 and 4 years in high school and not come out a socialist and not come out anti-gun? And I would be full-blown anti-firearm. I would be full-blown anti-firearm if people that didn't look like me weren't in a whole bunch of danger. So normally, I would add, I'm also anti-gun. But unfortunately, people that don't look like me, they're in danger, baby girl. So the word of the wise from the TikTok shop. Okay, we got about 325 people watching me right now. So you need to make sure that you get 8 hours of sleep a night. No fucking questions asked. Build your life around get 8 hours of sleep a night. Hey, she's all washed up. There's fucking more people in my live right now than will be at your funeral. Okay? So yeah. Yeah, I don't have the luxury of being anti-gun. Exactly. I don't have the luxury of being any gun. Now, what you need to do is you need to get 8 hours of sleep a night. Okay? And then listen, whatever you do during the day, it's got to lead you to sleep at night. Do you see how it works when you're a kid and an adult too? Hey, you got to get 8 hours of sleep at night because when you're young, you struggle to do it. And then when you get older, whatever you're doing during the day, it's got to let you sleep at night. Okay? And then, hey, listen. Naps are fucking incredible. You need to open your mind up to a nap. In fact, you probably just need a nap, bitch. You probably just need a nap. Also, if you're going to sleep really good and even take fucking naps, you might as well hydrate. Why? Because if you sleep really good and you hydrate well, you won't oversleep. You will be in a constant state of, I have to fucking pee. And so you're going to be like, God damn it, fucking nap is ruined. But no, trust me, your body told you. Okay? So, if you're going to sleep good and you're going to fucking drink water, you might as well eat good. Okay? Hey, tons of fucking green vegetables and high protein. That's my recommendation. Heavy on the green veggies, high protein. Now listen to me. If you're going to sleep good, you're going to hydrate yourself, and you're going to eat a lot of green vegetables and high protein, you might as well work the fuck out because you're doing all the other things. Okay? You might as well work out. But here's the problem. Most people, when they're sleeping good and they're hydrating and they're eating right, when they go exercise, they try to do it all at once. So I hear people all the time saying, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lift and I'm going to run. And I get it. You got a busy life. You got to do what you got to do. You're like my wife, who doesn't want to dirty up an extra outfit every day. Okay? But in addition to, you need to work out, you need to split your weightlifting and your movement. They need to be on opposite ends of the day. So you need to lift weights in the morning, for example, and if that's what you're going to do, that's what I do. That's what my wife and I do, is we go to the YMCA in the morning and get a lift in, and then go to work and eat and nap and recover, and then right before we go to turn down to go to bed, we go for a walk. 7,000 to 9,000 steps working up. So I'm not telling you 20,000 steps a day and track your steps and ba. No. Split your workout up. Meaning, if you lift in the evening, you run in the morning, or whatever it is. And hey, understand there's a reason that I'm telling you get 8 hours of sleep, hydrate, eat right, exercise, split your exercise so that you will hit higher athletic peaks. You'll get even stronger. You'll get even faster. You'll get in even better shape. You'll start to see the wait, give me 6 months and you're going to see me start to fucking flex and shit and take my shirt off and shit. Because I already did that in the last like year. So I'm on my bulk phase because it's fucking wintertime. I don't want to drive in this weather. So I'm going to get a little tubby. But then I'm getting right back into the fucking gym, getting right back to fucking cut. Okay. Why? Because I'm not trying to be able to not carry my groceries when I'm 60. I'm trying to be able to bend over at the waist at 60 years old and fucking pick up my goddamn groceries. Okay? And the reason I'm a big advocate for this is because my best friend, okay, so here this is the end of I'm going to land my plane on fucking taking care of your body. Okay? My best friend, Kat, I would like to see your peer-reviewed research that suggests naps are not healthy. Naps are required. If you're an athlete at all, if you're taking care of yourself at all, there's 8 hours of sleep is not enough. Okay? Naps are incredible for you. Okay? The whole goal is to avoid getting caught up in the healthcare system. And how do you do that? How do you do that? You do things that you know your enemy is not doing. The people that have called you the enemy from within, you have to become that now. How do you become that they're calling us, right? How do you become that which you stay ready so you don't have to get ready? Do you understand how that works? So, once you've decided what that man is saying, I'm going to live that. Okay? Now you have to understand that you are going to become far more powerful than you could have ever fucking known. You're going to get stronger and faster. You're going to be a better worker. You're going to get to the point where you have too much energy for the situation. And I challenge you, make changes. Go get a unionized job. People talk about the education system. You want to fuck it up? Go become a teacher. That's literally what I want to be an NFL head coach. Right? I'm going to be an elected official one day. I'm in my last year of school at getting a degree in data analytics. And I never plan to work in that field. Okay? Why? I'm going to go back and be a STEM teacher so that I can be a head football coach. So that I can be a unionized teacher and support the teachers union while I coach high school football. And when we win and we do really good, and I have a degree in data analytics from Purdue, and I'm a proud fucking union member, and I'm a STEM teacher that could have absolutely made more fucking money working in data analytics. That's for fucking sure. Okay? I'm talking about those jobs start at 120 to 150K. Okay? I'm going to go back and be a fucking STEM teacher and be able to teach multiple subjects. But here's the thing. I don't actually have to teach. I don't actually do that. I don't actually have to do that. Okay? I don't actually have to do that. See, I just got a job of a lifetime. I just got a job where at the first interview, they told me how much they get paid. The average person in my field makes $140,000 in their first year, and the elite people in my field make $250,000 at the job that I just got. So I don't actually need to take that teaching job. In fact, it would cost me money to do that. So that job they have to fucking pay me in order for me to step away from the job that I got. They got to be in the fucking ballpark. So again, I don't have to take the first fucking teaching job that I get offered. I can say, I'm not taking a job to teach for $35,000. You're out of your fucking mind. You can max pay me because I'm also a fucking veteran. I'm also going to coach school. I'm going to coach sports year fucking round, right? I'm literally going to run your fucking strength and conditioning program too. So I'm literally going to be at your school 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 6 days a week, and teach and coach and be there like 16 hours a day. How much are you going to pay? Because if it ain't $250,000, I could just go work 40 hours and make that and not give a fuck about this at all. And just have done this because it was the right thing to fucking do. It's just I got a job in between deciding what to do and it happening. A job at quadruple pay. That's fucking insane. So like I said, I'm not falling into any traps. I'm not going to give up a high-paying job to be a teacher. No. But what I might be able to do, for example, is teach one class and keep my job and coach and just work amended hours. Yep. Just tell your employer, like, I can work, 4 to 6 hours here, and then I need this time off, and then I'll come back and work a couple hours a day. No. Frazzle, that's great. 60K in 08. And for the record, there's going to be people that are like, well, you would have been a great teacher all this time. Why aren't you a teacher now? Well, we were in a war when I was in college the first time. And all my buddies became officers in the military with their degrees. And I got out of school. The job market fucking sucked. And I was working 2 fucking jobs and barely able to pay my bills. So I sacked the fuck up. I lost 100 pounds in 90 days, and I joined the Marine Corps. And I wasn't planning on joining the infantry. So I know there's going to be people out there that are like, wait, didn't you say you're like 6'3", 300 pounds and an athlete? Yeah. They're like, why the fuck would you join the infantry if you're that goddamn big? Well, I got down to 209. So I was about 100 pounds fucking lighter than this. So there's a reason I didn't become a teacher, and that's because we were in a war. And it was like, do I want to get paid shit money and get screamed at by a fucking teenager, or do I want to get paid shit money and get screamed at by someone my age? And I was like, fuck it, my age. And I wasn't going to join the fucking... That was actually funny and nobody laughed, and that's okay. I can talk about my trauma and it be funny and you just laugh because like my choices were go be a teacher out of college and get yelled at by a bunch of fucking teenagers, or join the fucking military and go get yelled at by a bunch of people about my age. Okay? So, when I went to MEPS, Military Entry Processing Station, for the record, I always see like way more popular content creators that are veterans that don't know what acronyms stand for, and that shit tilts the fuck out of me because Marines are supposed to be stupid. I'm supposed to be a fucking crown eater that doesn't know what I'm talking about and is just fucking stupid. But when I went to MEPS, Military Entry Processing Station, they were like, "What do you want to do, bro? You could do any fucking job you want." I got a really high ASVAB score. I literally had my pick a job. And I was like, "What do you recommend, Gunny?" And he started laughing at me. And he was like, "Really? With your smart ass?" And I was like, "Oh, baby, with my smart ass." And he was like, "Oh, the Marine Corps is going to love you." And I was like, "Fucking love me then. God damn it, daddy. Let's do this." And he was like, "Infantry. That's what you need to fucking do." And I was like, "Bet, done. That's all I needed to hear, Gunny. All I needed to hear." And he was like, "Okay, that doctor is going to put his finger in your asshole." And I'm like, "Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, doc." And he, for the record, he told me about all his time in the military, and he'd been in the military like 13 years, and he was about to pick up, and and he went here, and he went here, and he went here, and his biggest fucking regret is that he sat in a fucking office. I just rather fucking be outside. And I was like, fucking sold. Who wants to sit in an office? That's literally what I was hoping to avoid. And he was like, "Fucking infantry, you'll be outside all the fucking time." And I was like, "Bet, done. Here's what you don't understand about that." Yesterday, JC. Yesterday. Here's what you don't understand about that. Yesterday. Now all the articles are saying they're not going to be at his lunch. So yeah. I always think it's funny. People say stupid shit in my comments and I ban them, and then they go find me somewhere else to tell me that you ban. It is wholly. Let me say this into the camera. Wholly, WHOLLY, wholly inappropriate that if I ban you for your idiocy in my fucking comments, for you to go find me somewhere else and try to participate in that conversation. Okay? It is wholly inappropriate for you to do that. Okay? And I gotta be kind of defensive about, like, I don't want to be friends with people like that. It is because if I tell you, this guy named Don is applying for a job, but you had to fill some paperwork out in order to get the job, and he didn't turn it in on time. And when we looked at his past, we found out that he had a job in this industry before, and he had led a rebellion against his former employer. Actually, it was against his own company. Remember, I said it was like Harikari, but stupid? He led a rebellion against his own company because he lost power and was trying to stay in power at this company. And as a result, the industry rules are that if you worked in this industry and you led a worker rebellion to either try to seize power or stay in power, that you're not eligible to work in that industry. And so if I told you there was somebody named Don, if I told you, yeah, and that's not what the story said last night, JC. Do you understand how the media would change the narrative to, because there's a heightened security risk and they don't want to freak people out right yet? Okay. So if I told you there was a guy named Don, he had a company in this industry, and he got kicked out of power, and he tried to rebel against his own company, right? In a situation where he lost, and he's not eligible for the job. If it was just a regular job, it would not take you very long to be like, oh yeah, he's not getting that fucking job. When's he supposed to when's he supposed to start? Oh, he's supposed to start on January 20th. Well, if he's not eligible for the job and he didn't sign the paperwork, how is he going to get the job anyway? And that's the jumping through, that's the backflips part. The backflips for Donald. Keep doing them, you're going to end up a tumbler. Before you know it, you're going to be an Olympic fucking gymnast doing backflips for Donnie. But the reality of the situation is Donald Trump can only be inaugurated as president at 12 noon, Monday the 20th. And there is a select Senate intelligence meeting at midnight, 12 hours before the inauguration. And I just want to point out, they have not ever done that before. They've never had a select Senate intelligence meeting at midnight, 12 hours before an inauguration. So again, y'all are doing fucking backflips in my comments section. Source of that information, please. What do you mean? It's a closed select Senate intelligence meeting on the intelligence senate.intelligence.gov website. It's on the internet. It's on the website. It's been on there for days. It's on the Senate Intelligence Committee website. If it were a fucking typo, whoever's typing in information for the government is fucking fired. Okay? Whoever, like the National Archives were fucked up, and now you're telling me there's a select Senate intelligence meeting at fucking noon on Inauguration Day, and it's a fucking typo? Do you know how stupid you sound when you try to convince me that a committee that's half MAGA, by the way, a committee that's half MAGA is going to be in a fucking meeting while Donald Trump gets inaugurated? Are you goddamn dumb? No, it's not a typo. There's a select Senate intelligence meeting, a closed briefing at midnight, 12 hours before the fucking inauguration. And y'all think the guy that's not eligible for the job and didn't sign the paperwork, that there's a select Senate intelligence meeting 12 hours before his inauguration. You think he's still getting the job? My God, kids, he can't even pass the drug test. If there was a drug test for this job, Donald Trump couldn't do it. What do you think about Turner being removed from the House Intelligence Committee? He's not a Trump loyalist. He's pro-Ukraine, and he did not support Donald Trump's attempt to overthrow the government in 2020. It's not insanity. It's not insanity. Stop saying that. It's completely logical and reasonable, and that's what I've been this entire time. I have based 100% of my thoughts and the things that I've been telling y'all on executive orders and the Justice Manual. I'm not no fucking psychic. I ain't no mystic. I'm the fucking alchemist. I'm the alchemist. I'm on a journey. You're going to run into mystics. You're going to run into psychics. But you should be generally nice to everyone. I think it's great that we're waiting, because the more that this administration and Democrats say, the worse that looks for all involved. The more that the Democrats speak up, the more it's like, oh shit, we're fucked. And think about it, not a single Democrat has said that. And here's the thing, if he gets in power, we're fucked. It ain't just women. It's people that just don't look like me. I'm not a fucking Democrat. I'm a goddamn socialist. You fucking clown ass. How dare you? President refused to enforce it. Doesn't matter. Nah, Donald Trump, or not Donald Trump, Joe Biden said he's not enforcing it. Yeah, we co-stream this live on YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, they're trying to disrupt the free flow of information. It's not, I don't know. Yep. Supreme Court wants to ban it. Billionaires want to ban it. Donald Trump and Elon Musk want to ban it. Mark Zuckerberg wants to ban it. Those are the people to be mad at. It's a violation of the First Amendment. It will get challenged. There will be a legal challenge. Yeah, see, the decision came against the backdrop of unusual political agitation by President-elect Donald Trump, who vowed that he could negotiate a solution in the administration of President Joe Biden, which has signaled it won't enforce the law beginning Sunday. So TikTok may be getting banned, but it's not getting banned on the 19th. It's not getting banned anytime soon. That's going to get litigated the fuck out of. No, it won't. Donald Trump's not eligible for office. He didn't sign the required paperwork. Who's fucking yelling? You got blocked more than anyone I've ever seen get blocked. What do you make of this rally plan on the 19th? Well, so what happened was Donald Trump found out that his inauguration was not going to be well attended, and he decided to hold a rally the day before so that he could expect it to double his audience size. And I also think that there's a women's rally and a freedom march on the 18th, and he knows because of weather that his followers are going to get in town sometime the day before, and that he gets a 2-for-1. So he gets to agitate the freedom march and the women's march the day before his rally, and then he gets to try to rally the troops for his inauguration to storm the Capitol, because he's not eligible for the job. Not eligible for the job, didn't sign the paperwork. So he's going to try to take it by force. He's going to try to force them to give him power. That's just not how it works. No, it's you. It's always you. No. 12th Amendment, Barbara. When you vote for president, the vice presidential candidate of their choice is tattooed to your president pick. So if Donald Trump's not eligible, that means JD Vance isn't eligible. And they did not win anything. He signed an amended version of the ethics agreement, which means he did not sign the ethics agreement, and that was just made as a de-escalation attempt by the government. Hey, I know y'all are worried about the TikTok ban. Joe Biden already said he's not enforcing that rule. That means the revolution will be televised. You understand? That means that we will be talking about that shit live for a while on TikTok. That shit ain't going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Listen to me. TikTok has $100 billion to bet on itself with. Because remember, the mainstream media, they are going to try to paint that this election's stolen from Donald Trump and all the MAGA because they're all tied together. Okay? So, but the reality is Donald Trump's not eligible for the job, didn't sign the necessary paperwork. His vice presidential candidate's talking about not being at the inauguration because he's going to go to the national championship game, which is at 7 o'clock at night. Merrick Garland just released the report. Come on. I was already here for a couple hours. Oh. Biden says equal rights amendment is ratified, kicking off expected legal battle as he pushes through final executive actions. So all of you people that have been commenting in my fucking comment section talking about he could have left us with the HRA, he could have at least left us with the ERA. Shut the fuck up. He said he was going to do it. He said he was going to do it like 3 weeks ago. And people have been like, what about the ERA? He didn't do shit about the EMA. You sound like fucking Cartman. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Told you. Told you. Told you. Told you. O ye of little faith. Coming from an atheist, that's hilarious. I just wanted to point that out. Somebody said Jack Smith Report Volume 2. So, come on, man. Where's the report? God damn it. Okay, I'm getting out of here. It's an intelligence meeting, not inauguration. I like that shit. Yeah, the what was it, 13694 or whatever? The fuck Elon Musk executive order, is that what you're talking about? Fuck Elon Musk and all those billionaire oligarchs trying to overthrow and buy our government. You talking about that? The fuck those people order? Yeah, I saw it. Can I catch you up? What's going on? All right, dog. First of all, fuck Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg is a giant. What was your question? What was your question, Christine? Goddamn, I'm sorry. There's hundreds of people in here. It's not just you and I. It's different when there's no one here, but there's hundreds of people here. It's crazy. And I'm not scrolling back up. So you're going to have to fucking retype that shit. Who's going to attend the meeting? The Select Senate Intelligence Committee. I'm guessing the heads of every state, meaning Secretary of State, Defense, Commerce, Ag, all of them. I'm guessing the heads of all these agencies. I'm guessing international organizations. Yeah, block with a fucking quickness. With prejudice. I don't have time for the people in my life. You understand? You think hey, to quote one of my favorite fucking films of all time and one of the greatest American movies of all time, I'm going to quote Top Gun for you. Okay? This is how I view my social circle. Okay? You fuck up just this much and you are going to fly a cargo plane full of rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong. Maybe you could call Truckmasters? And again, if you don't understand those references, that's on you, boo-boo. That's not my job. It's not my job to master pop culture references for you. President Biden said he's not enforcing it. So The revolution will be televised. Should we wait for the results of it ASAP? Dude, I'm going to be up at midnight. It's not gone. TikTok's not gone. President Biden said he's not enforcing that rule. Does Trump know that he's not? He has dementia. He has dementia. He doesn't remember. Why do you think? Okay, let me explain this to you and then I got to go. Because Jack Smith's not report out. You guys are lying to me in my fucking comment section. So, I got dogs I got to take care of. Okay? So, Donald Trump has dementia, meaning he forgets shit all the time, in case you don't know what that means. He also, according to the people that have worked with him, he has the brain of a fucking fourth grader. So, shitty memory, also a fucking immature child. Okay? So remember when Donald Trump went to the White House to have lunch with Joe Biden? Do you remember that? Does everyone remember that? Okay. Okay. Donald Trump goes to the White House to have lunch. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. Because we've told this story before, we're going to tell it in a little different order. Okay. First, we're going to talk about what Donald Trump said coming out of that lunch. Okay. So what happened was the weekend after he went to the White House, he went to remember Morning Joe went to Mar-a-Lago and kissed the fucking ring. Do you guys remember that? Remember when Morning Joe ruined all their credibility because they called Donald Trump a fucking fascist, and then they went to fucking Mar-a-Lago and fucking came out and their faces were covered with Cheeto dust and shit. So Donald Trump had a phone conversation about his meeting with the Morning Joe, and they asked him, did they ask you about the lunch at the White House? And he said, yeah, they asked me about the lunch at the White House. What'd you tell them? And he said, Joe Biden told me, congratulations on running the greatest political campaign in history. So my first, never mind. I'm not gonna ask it. I'm not gonna ask it. I'm not gonna ask if you believe that or not. The greatest. The what? The last month. Dawn. The last month you had no gas. You got up on stage and you were a fucking. He was a fucking shade of himself. He said I ran the greatest political campaign in history. He said we're going to have a peaceful transfer of power. And that he's proud of me for assembling the greatest, I think it was the greatest cabinet in history or some shit like that. There was 3 parts of it. Okay? I can't remember because I've told this story so many times in a different order that now I'm like, wait a minute, what was the 3 parts? It was greatest campaign in political history. It was Joe Biden told me we're going to have a peaceful transfer of power. And there was one other thing that he said. And I can't remember what it was, but it was like, that's not fucking true. But here's the problem. See, most of the time, how was lunch? How was the lunch? How was lunch? And Donald Trump said the food was fantastic. They didn't fucking eat. There wasn't food there. So he lied about the food. He said he lied about there being food at the lunch. Oh, we had a great lunch. No, the fuck you didn't. That literally didn't happen. Joe Biden told me congratulations on running the greatest political campaign in history. No, the fuck he didn't. And then it just so happens that there's video of the lie that cracked it all. That made me be like, none of that's true because that's definitely not true. See, the problem is Donald Trump was on camera. Do you remember? I'll set the scene for you. If you're looking at the picture, Don's on your left, and he looks beat-ass red. And he's sitting straight up in a chair, and he looks like he's about to fucking burst. Yeah? And then there's a fire between him and fucking Joe Biden. And Joe Biden's leaned back in a chair, looking all chill, looking like a fucking angel. And it was Donald Trump that reached his hand out and shook Joe Biden and said, "I'm glad we'll have a peaceful transfer of power." And see, the fucking problem I have is that within a week, he tried to lie about that lunch. He tried to lie about what happened at that lunch, and he got caught by your boy. I was like, no. Joe Biden did not fucking tell you that you just ran the greatest political campaign in history. Y'all did not have fucking lunch. He was there for 2 hours. There was not food served. And then he tried to say, and Joe Biden told me that we were going to have a peaceful transfer of power. And there's video. There's video. It's not disputable anymore whether or not he's a piece of shit liar. There's video of it. He's a habitual liar. So then the question becomes, and I'll leave you with this, and we're going to chill until we get actual Jack Smith Volume 2 out, okay? 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 So I just want to make sure that everybody knows, now that you know that he lied about it, then I want your mind to wander. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. I've never asked anyone to do this. Okay? I want you to make me a TikTok and tag me in it. Did you hear me? I want you to make me a TikTok and I want you to tag me in it. And I want you to tell me what happened at that lunch, and it's got to be a story. I don't need it to be true. I just want to hear some unhinged shit. I want to hear listen, I'll tell you my story, and you can't repeat my version of what happened. Because I'm going to take some liberties, okay? What lunch? Fucking exactly, Debbie. Exactly. You and I are on the same fucking page, dear. What fucking lunch? Okay? So, here's what really happened. This is a story straight out of the fucking TikTok shop. I'm not a doctor, not a lawyer. I was not fucking there. Okay? Donald Trump showed up at the White House in a shitty ass suit. He got dropped off, meaning the limo stopped, the guy got out, walked to the door, opened it, Don got out, he slammed that shit, drove the fuck away, and went and cleaned his car. Okay? And Donald Trump, in a shitty ass suit on his last fucking leg, walked up to the motherfucking front door of the White House like he's just gonna walk back in there. And the door was unlocked. So he thought about knocking, but that's not Donald Trump's style. That's not Donald Trump's style. He's just kind of the grab her by the pussy kind of guy. So he just opened the fucking front door of the White House and walked right in that motherfucker. You better goddamn believe it. Except the Democrats that are currently in power, they were fucking standing in the foyer waiting on his ass. It just so happened that Kamala Harris was hiding behind the door, so when Don just walked in the fucking front door of the White House, she just walked up to him with a syringe full of truth serum and stabbed him in the neck and just... And the thing about it is, Donald Trump's a giant pussy. Remember how he had his doctor say that he had bone spurs and he couldn't be drafted? TikTok shop. So he's a giant fucking pussy. So he gets hit with the truth serum and he goes to pass out because, again, Donald Trump is a giant fucking pussy. And as he goes to pass out, who catches him? Who keeps him from hitting the ground face fucking first, bouncing off the fucking White House foyer? Who? Joe Biden catches his ass. Hey, Don, what's going on, big guy? And immediately a doctor's right there and they're stabilizing him and he's standing up and he's like, God, I feel like I got hit by it. Get stung by something? And they're like, yeah, we've had bees, And he's like, oh shit, yeah, I remember there were bees in the garden. That's why Melania got rid of all the fucking flowers. And Joe Biden's like, sure, whatever, Don. And so as they start walking down the hallway, like, Joe and Kamala can smell him. And they're like, oh, Jesus Christ. And Joe puts his arm around Donald Trump and he says, hey, you're looking kind of rough, Don. When's the last time you washed your suit? And he starts fucking bawling. This is the first time an adult man has ever embraced him, period. And ever even act like for 5 seconds that he's like a real boy. So Joe says, you're looking kind of rough, Don. When's the last time you cleaned your suit? And Don just starts bawling his eyes out. Nobody cares about me. Nobody likes me. And Joe's like, I don't fucking like you. Like, the fuck are you? What are you trying to, what? And he's like, I'm a full-blown ketamine addict. I can't hold my fucking bowels anymore. And they put me on national television on a white fucking couch, and I was shitting myself the whole fucking time. And he's just bawling. And Joe's like, we got to get you fucking cleaned up, dog. So it just so happens they got a suit in his size, and he goes back and he takes off his shitty suit and he takes a fucking hot shower. It's like the first time he's had a hot shower in God knows fucking how long. And he gets dressed, puts on a clean suit. For the record, if you notice, when they sat down, he was in a clean suit. I just want to point it out. I'm pulling on some strings of reality. Okay? This is not real. This is not real. I'm making it up. Fuck. I got restricted for this. This is insane. So what happens after he takes a shower and he gets his shit together and he's fucking leaving the bathroom and shit, immediately it's like he gets led into a room. There's cameras fucking everywhere. Kamala and Joe are on one side of the table with a bunch of fucking paperwork laid out. Remember, true serum. He's helpless. He just walks up to the table. He's still a little bit woozy. Shit, he got stung by a bee like 10 minutes ago. So, yeah, for entertainment purposes only. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? So he walks up to the table where all this shit is. And he's like, he can't fucking read. He can't read. He's a 4th grader with dementia. So he's like, well, you're going to have to help me out here. And Kamala's like, this one says you're going to be president. This one says you're going to live here. This one says you can do whatever you want. This one's like free money for life or some shit. And he's just like, hell yeah. Sign. And he just signed it. And then they sat him down and they started asking him some questions. And they were being really nice. Actually, it's like the first time that adults have been fucking nice to Donald Trump and not tried to just take advantage of him. And so he did what a 4th grader would do if he honestly felt like it was the first time in his life that anybody fucking was going to listen to what he had to say anyway. And he told him fucking everything. Yeah. Been working with fucking Russia. And so that's what happened at the lunch at the White House. TikTok shop. Tip shop. This is for entertainment purposes only.
So now the rules are when you make a video to tell me what happened at the White House, I expect more fucking more ridiculous. It was supposed to be anticlimactic. He just told him fucking everything. And you're like, God damn it, that's it? Yeah. Yeah. He's a patsy. Him and JD Vance. Yep. Yep. And you know how I know, where I got the truth serum shit at? Because as soon as he fucking left, he started lying again. As soon as he left the fucking White House, it was like, greatest political campaign in history. Lunch was fucking fantastic. Like, come the fuck on. You honestly believe in 2024, in the year of our whatever the fuck you believe in, that Donald Trump went to the White House and had lunch with Joe Biden after he called him the enemy from within? Come on, dog. You guys have a good rest of your day.